Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Vanchakalpatarubhasya Kripasindhu Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Ananda Koti Vaishnavinda ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Sorry for stopping chanting, and also wishing everybody a happy Lord Nityananda Parents Day and Nityananda Trayodashi, and also Varah Dwadashi. And so very, very auspicious day today, and very merciful day also. And before we start, I would like to, before I greet the devotees, I would like to read a quote by His Grace Bhakti Padma Swami Maharaj. In Bhakti, the greatest flaw is fear, and the greatest virtue is surrender. Remembrance of Lord Varaha transformed life into one of fearlessness. So I'll repeat, in Bhakti, the greatest flaw is fear, and the greatest virtue is surrender. Remembrance of Lord Varaha transforms life into one of fearlessness, by Bhakti Padma Swami. So very nice. May I know who all on the call today?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, and Hare Krishna to all the devotees. This is Surinda from Maryland. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Madana Pranam to you. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Amritamani Devidasi. Happy Nityananda's appearance day to all the devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Madana Pranam to you. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Thank you so much for joining, and also joining the call at 5 a.m. in the morning. Thank you, Mataji, for chanting.
Hare Krishna, Arpita Padma Mataji and all the assembled devotees and Vat Pranam, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. This is Amarasika Devidasi from Germantown, Maryland, and happy Varah Dwadashi and happy Nityananda Trayodashi. So, and we are fasting till noon today, and then after 12 o'clock we can have Ekadashi Prashad. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, but we have to break the Ekadashi, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Manoram Prabhu had sent clarification that we can break fast during regular
Time, breakfast time.
Yeah, we don't have to fast until noon today. Sorry, Mataji. Yeah.
Nityananda Trayodashi, what about that?
That we did yesterday, Mataji.
Yeah.
Yesterday we were supposed to fast until noon.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we did two things yesterday, Mataji.
Yes.
Till
Mm.
noon, And then we did Ekadashi, because Ekadashi is predominant. It's
Yeah.
so
So
I
no
was like,
fasting today. Okay.
yeah. So
All right. Yeah.
actually now
Thank
for
you,
us it's
Mataji.
already time to break the fast, 7:14.
Hmm.
I'll take some Jagannath rice and break the fast as soon as I'm finished with my greeting. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mataji.
Thank
I
you,
know
Mataji.
this Ekadashi Mataji is confusion because there are two things.
Yeah.
So,
This and Vaman Dwadashi. Both
yeah, and I'm
are-
also wondering today, Lord Nityananda Parents Day, we have to fast till noon. But then, we have to keep in mind that Ekadashi is the top,
Yes, yes.
So,
Thank you,
please.
Premanandini Mataji and Rupani Padma Mataji.
Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Thank you. We're all here to guide each other, Mataji.
Mhm.
Thank you. Anybody else would like to announce their name on this auspicious day?
Hare Krishna, Rupini Padma Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees on this call. This is Premanandini Devidasi from Ashburn, Virginia. I wish you all a very happy Varaha Dwadashi and Nityananda, Lord Nityananda's appearance day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Matarat Pranam to you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and thank you for promptly reminding. I got really worried. Thank you for reminding that, what we are supposed to do the right way on the call. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Hare Krishna to all devotees. This is Malini from Ashburn, Virginia. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Matarat Pranam to you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining. Anybody else would like to announce? And I don't know whether Mataji, the speaker is there or not. Oh yeah, Mataji is there.
Mataji is here. Yeah. Premeshwari.
Yeah. So I already started the recording. So anybody else would like to announce before I hand over the call to Premeshwari Padmavati Mataji? And also Mataji knows, right? We are doing, so today on Nitya Harinam Sangha, we have three things going on. One is we have the verse for today, 8:14:5, and then also we have Mataji can give us a little bit on Varaha Dwadashi and Nityananda Trayodashi. So three things if Mataji can discuss. It's entirely choice of Mataji, but we'll be more than eager to hear. Mataji, can I hand over the call to you?
Yes, Mataji. If
Hare Krishna Mataji, Mataran Pranam to
Hare
you.
Krishna, pranams, Mataji, Srila Prabhupada. Yes,
Nice to see you
Mataji.
and hear you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Just 1 minute, Mataji. I just share the screen. Sorry. Okay, so I think you all are celebrating both Varade's appearance and Nityananda Trayodashi today, right, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, today is Lord, it's a
Okay.
morning, Lord Nityananda, but we fasted yesterday.
Yesterday on Ekadashi, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
and for
No,
Varade,
because in India, yesterday was Ekadashi. Today we did today we celebrated Varadev's appearance, and tomorrow we are going to celebrate Nityananda Trayodashi. So I just wanted that clarification. That's okay. Okay. So we'll begin then.
Yes.
Thank you so much to Shamrasika Mataji for giving me this opportunity to speak something about Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Varadev. It always helps to actually develop my consciousness for this, very great festival, because for preparing for the class, and I'll also go and hear various classes and read about like what Srila Prabhupada said and other things. So that way I'm very grateful. Is it okay, Matashi, if I first speak on the festivals and then we come to the Srimad Bhagavatam verse?
Whatever you like, Mataji. You are
Okay. Okay, sure. Yes, thank you so much. So first we'll talk about the Nityananda Trayodashi festival. But before we begin, let's just chant our Mangalacharan prayers and invoke the blessings of the Guru Parampara. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashilakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachadane Nirvishesha Shanvadi Pashat Deshadadane Vanshakalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhudvaiva Chapatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Shri Priya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum lange yatkripātamam vande Shri Gurum Dīnataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram Hari Om. That's it. So, when Mataji told me to speak something about Sri Nityananda Prabhu, I was just going and trying to see for any lecture that Srila Prabhupada has actually given on, this auspicious day. So then I found one lecture that Srila Prabhupada gave on the 2nd of Feb in 1977. So this was just like, few months before he winded up his Leela on this planet. And this was in Bhubaneswar, near Jagannath Puri. So Srila Prabhupada starts, by this very famous line from one bhajan that Vrajendra Nandan Jai Sachi Sutta Hoilo say Balarama Hoilo Nittai. So it means that who was formerly the son of Nanda Maharaj, he has appeared as the son of Sachi Devi. So basically, Krishna has appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Balram comes as Nityananda Prabhu. So we just want to try and understand what is this Balram Tattva. So if you see, Balram, he is said to be the first expansion of Krishna. And acharyas explain that there is absolutely no difference in one way, because our philosophy is Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. In one way, there's absolutely no difference between the two lords. Both are considered Supreme Personality of Godhead. Both have all the 64 qualities. Both have all the 6 opulences. Just as, Krishna has his, all these gopis and the Rasa Leela. Similarly, Balram also has everything. So, in one way, there's absolutely no difference between both. But then Srila Prabhupada explains that there are only 2 differences. One is a difference of complexion. Like we all know Krishna, he's Shyama Varna. And Balramji, he is like white complexion. So that is one difference. And the other major difference is that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is in the mood of accepting service. While Balram, he is the servitor God. So he wants to always offer service. That is his main agenda or main motive. He is we know that, Balram or Nityananda Prabhu, they represent the Guru Tattva. So what is a Guru Tattva? Guru Tattva means that, one of the meanings, obviously it's a very detailed or in-depth Tattva, but one of the things is, who is the ideal Guru or ideal Acharya? One who teaches by his own example. So Balramji, he teaches by his own example. Like when Lord Krishna, he appears in the Treta Yuga as Lord Ram, Balram comes as Lakshmana. Then when Krishna, and then, we all know, how he was such a dedicated servitor. Like, when Lord Ram was banished to the forest, we all know that, see, as per the Shastric injunctions, a chaste wife, she will follow the husband. So, for Sita Devi to go to the forest, it is completely justified. She's doing her dharma of being a chaste wife. But there is absolutely no injunction that a brother is supposed to follow the elder brother. But Lakshman, he is so attached to Sri Ram, he's so focused on serving Lord Ram that he also follows his brother. And what kind of service he has done? He has not eaten for 14 years. He has not slept for 14 years. And every single difficulty that was coming for, like Lord Ram and Sita Devi in the forest, he was trying to, take it on himself. Like when they used to walk on the path in the forest, he used to try and clear the pathway of all the thorns and all. So he used to get hurt, like with his legs and his hands were getting bruised. But he would try that the difficulty or the discomfort that is caused to Sri Ram and Sita Devi is minimized. So, in this way, he was very dedicated and he really relished his service. Like, it is not like, he was there's a forced thing or nothing like that. It was very spontaneous and he was really relishing his service. But there was one service which really, transcendentally upset him. And that was the service when Lord Ram instructed him that, like, Lord Ram wanted to banish Mother Sita, and then, she was pregnant that time. She was carrying Lava and Kush. So, Lord Ram tells Lakshman that you please go take Sita Mata to the forest and then abandon her there. So this was really painful. But he was a younger brother, and as a matter of etiquette, he could not retaliate. So then we know that, how Lakshmana, he decides that in the next subsequent incarnations, he will never come as a younger brother. He will always come as the elder brother. So in Dwapar Yuga, when Krishna comes, he like Balram, he comes as Balram and he comes as the elder brother. So now he is focused on service, like his service attitude or the amount or the quality of service, that is not reduced in any way. And then he's serving. But when needed, he will chastise Krishna and he will do all that. And then that same Balram, like how Srila Prabhupada said, Balram hoilo nitai. So he comes as Nityananda Prabhu in this Kali Yuga when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Krishna is coming as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it's mentioned that if we look at Lakshman or if we look at Balram, they did manifest a lot of anger in their pastimes. Like we know Lakshman, right? When first when Dashrath Maharaj banished Lord Ram to the forest for 14 years of exile, Lakshman was very angry. And it was only like Lord Ram kind of, stopped him that no, it's our dharma and we should not we should not retaliate what our father has said. But he was very upset. Then again in the forest, when Bharat comes to kind of invite Lord Ram back to the kingdom, Lakshman first feels that, oh, he has come to, attack Lord Ram, and he again gets very angry. So, Lakshman has exhibited anger in multiple episodes in Ramayana, and even Balramji, like we know how when Duryodhan, he opposed the marriage of Lakshmana with Krishna's son. I forgot, I think it was Samba. I forget the name, I'm sorry. So that time, Balramji goes to Hastinapur and he tries to persuade Duryodhan and party. But when they don't get persuaded, he gets so angry, he picks up his hull and he puts it on the land and he's going to drag the entire Hastinapur into the Yamuna river. And then the Kauravas, led by Duryodhan, they get so scared and they come and request him that, please, we did a great offense. No, you please take Lakshmana and, please spare our capital. So, and then we also know how Romharshan Rishi, when he offended Balram, immediately, Balram punishes him. So, like this, there are episodes where Balram is also exhibiting anger. But when that same Balram, when he comes as Sri Nityananda Prabhu, he is more merciful than Lord Chaitanya himself. And the most famous pastime to depict that mercy or that merciful attitude is the pastime of Sri Jagai and Madai. Like we know how, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Nityananda Prabhu that Jare Dekho Tare Kaho Krishna Upadesh. And then, you go around and you do preaching. So Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu were sent. And Nityananda Prabhu was going every door, begging everyone that, please chant the holy names. And, like it is said, I was hearing in a class that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving his mercy to everyone, whoever came to him. But Nityananda Prabhu was going and catching even those souls who were reluctant to come to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he used to drag them, he used to bring them somehow by force or by whatever means to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and ensure that they all got mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we know how in the pastime of Jagai Madai, when Madai hits Nityananda Prabhu with that mud pot, one way, like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibits anger, he calls the Sudarshan Chakra and he wants to kill Madhai, but then Nityananda Prabhu said, no, my lord, please don't do this. Like in the previous incarnations, you have killed all the asuras, but now please don't kill Madhai. Please kill the demoniac quality that is in his heart. So in this way, Nityananda Prabhu, we say that he has exhibited more mercy than Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is one very unique quality of this particular avatar. Then going ahead, Srila Prabhupada, he starts to quote from this very nice bhajan by Sri Narottam Das Thakur, which goes as, the Nitai Padakamala Bhajana. So, Srila Prabhupada says that there's a line in that bhajan. It says, Ahankare matta hoya Nitai Pada Pashariya Asatyere Satya Kori Mani. So, what happens? Ahankar, because of ahankar, like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Ahankara Vimudhatma Kartahamiti Manyate. That because of this false ego, we feel that we are the doers. And we feel like we are very proud of our strength, our prestige, our whatever high parentage, high education, beauty, etc. But these are all temporary. We forget what is the real thing, right? Whatever we are exhibiting, if you look at the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says it's just a small spark of his opulence. So in this way, if we are ahankare matta hoya, like we are maddened, we are bewildered by this ahankar of false ego, then nitai pada pashriya, we have forgotten the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, we have forgotten to take shelter of Nityananda Prabhu. And what are we doing as a result? Asatyera satya kori mani. We believe what is not true, like what is temporary, what is material, we believe or we'll take that as the truth. So this is the problem with all of us in this Kali Yuga. Then Srila Prabhupada goes on to explain that when we talk about Balram or Nityananda Prabhu who represent the Guru Tattva, so what does this Bala represent? It is not bodily strength. This is nothing but spiritual strength. Now, Srila Prabhupada used to say that we all want to wage a war against Maya. So, we definitely need a lot of strength because, Maya is not some, simple person that, we go on a combat and very easily we can defend her. Maya is very strong because she is nothing but Krishna's external potency. So, she is really very strong. Like, little lapse on our part and Maya will capture her, right? Like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's a statement that Krishna Bahirmukha Jiva Bhogavansha Kore and then Maya Japatiya Dhore. I forgot the line was that. And then Japatiya Dhore. Like immediately, if the living entity he turns away from Lord Krishna and he starts to engage in sense gratification, then Maya Devi will immediately hold him. So Maya Devi is very strong. So if we want to surpass this energy, like in Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter, Krishna says, Daivi Hesha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva Ye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. That is illusory energy. This divine energy of mine is very difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me, they can easily overcome. So how do we do that surrender? For that surrender or for that, the capability to overcome this illusory energy or Maya, we need spiritual strength. And that strength comes from Sri Nityananda Prabhu or the Guru Tattva, basically the Guru Tattva. Because, see, in this, again, the same very bhajan, Narottam Das Thakur. So Srila Prabhupada is not exactly quoting the bhajan in the chronological order, but he's quoting various lines from it, like various lines from it. So he says, Nitai pada kamala koti chanda shushitala je chayai jagat jurai. See, this whole world, it is suffering. And if we want peace, then there's only one option. Take shelter of Shri Nityananda Prabhu. Right? Like, in summer season, now I know in the West, I mean, at least in US, the summers are not that severe. But, in places like India, especially some of these Western states like Rajasthan and all, summers are very severe. So what happens is the scorching heat of the sun during the day. And finally at night, when the sun sets and the moonlight comes, that is when people get some kind of relief. Now, obviously, because of pollution and all, that relief is also like barely anything. But if, we still go to the villages or the interiors, then we can actually feel that, like, in deserts, they say it's extreme climate. Day is very hot and night becomes quite cold. Why? Because daytime, sun is in full, it's like full scorching heat. But in the day, I mean, in the evening time or the night time, the moonlight comes and it offers relief. Shushitala, like, it is cooling. So what is Nitai Padakamala? Like, what is Lord Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet? If someone takes shelter of Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet, then it is equivalent to Koti Chandra Shushitala. Like, Koti Chandra, millions of moons, you will get that much peace, that much relief. So in this way, if we want to get relief from our material sufferings and we want to, like, make quick progress, because see, in the conditioned state, Srila Prabhupada used to say that, for us to make progress in bhakti, it is very important that we are peaceful. Unless we are peaceful in our mind, we won't be able to do even bhakti, sadhana bhakti properly. Right? So Prabhupada always stressed on the importance of peace of mind. So therefore, from these material miseries, if we want relief, then we need this Nitai Patakamala Koti Chanda Shushitala. So when we get relief from material sufferings, now these material sufferings will, it's a circular loop. Like, you do bhakti, you get more relief. So for doing bhakti, you need Bala, that spiritual strength which you get from Balram or Sri Nityananda Prabhu. And you do bhakti and you take shelter of Nityananda Prabhu, you get relief from material sufferings. So when you are relieved from material sufferings, you will do more. I mean, you should do more bhakti. Now, I know, sometimes it happens that when things are going, everything is going good, then we also become little lax and, we are like, okay, we'll do tomorrow and all that. But we should always remind ourselves that this human life is very rare and it is very short-lived. Like earlier, people had a lifespan of millions of years. But in Kali Yuga, at least initially it was 100 years. Now these days, we are hearing stories of people passing at the age of 35, 40, 50. So we have no idea how long we are going to stay. So we have to try and as much as possible quickly, get that spiritual strength and make further progress. So how can we make that progress? Like, how can we get that spiritual strength from the Guru Tattva? So Srila Prabhupada is quoting the Mangalati prayers, Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasado. So when we serve our Guru, then by his mercy, we get the mercy of the spiritual master. So that is the secret for getting that spiritual strength. That we have to sincerely follow the instructions of a guru. Now, when I say guru, it means obviously our immediate Diksha Guru as well as Srila Prabhupada. And all bona fide gurus, they will only give instructions in line with Srila Prabhupada's desires. So, for us, as long as we are following the instructions of our Guru and Srila Prabhupada, we can be rest assured that we are also pleasing the entire Guru Parampara. So then, going forward, again, Srila Prabhupada, continuing with the Nitai Padakamala Bhajan, he says, Heno Nitai Bine Bhai, Radha Krishna Paite Nai, Dridha Kori Dharo Nitai Pai. He says that without Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, we can never get Shri Radha Krishna's mercy. So what we have to do, with great determination, with great strength, we have to hold Lord Nityananda's lotus feet. So we have to take shelter of his lotus feet. And what happens if we don't do that? Like, so then in another, in another stanza of the same verse, Narottam Das Thakur is singing, Ki Nitai Pada Pashariya, sorry, 1 second. He's singing, just 1 second, I'm so sorry. Yeah, he says that Se Sambandha Nahi Jar, Britha Janma Gelotar. That means that if someone does not have a relationship with Lord Nityananda, now what is that relationship? See, for us, primary relationship right now is a servitor. Like, we are supposed to serve the spiritual master. So we are supposed to serve Sri Nityananda Prabhu. We are basically trying to assist him in his service to Lord Krishna. And how he serves Lord Krishna or Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I'll come to that in a bit. So, Se Sambandha Nahi Jar, Britha Janma Gelotar. This person's life is useless. And Sei Pashu Boro Durachar. Now, Pashu, this word is a very heavy word. Srila Prabhupada is himself saying that this word is a very heavy word. What is Narottam Das Thakur saying? That for someone who does not have a relationship with Nityananda Prabhu, his life is waste. And he's an animal, and not just a simple animal. He's the most degraded animal. Bado Durachar. Right? So, we need to understand that how important, how much of a Guru Parampara they're trying to, encourage us to get linked with Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So now, if you seek very carefully, Nityananda Prabhu, like as I said, Balram Tattva, Guru Tattva, what is his prime characteristic? So, Balramji, he's serving Krishna in all the rasas. So, we have 5 primary rasas, Shanta Ras. So, how Balramji serves Krishna in that Shanta Rasa? He expands himself as everything that is needed in the service of Lord Krishna. He'll expand his dresses, ornaments, the holy dham. In fact, Acharyas explain that, Balramji, because he is representing the Vrindavan Dham or the Mayapur Dham, he will expand or contract the geographical limits of the Dham in a way to facilitate the pastimes of Krishna. So, for example, when Lord Krishna is returning back from the forest after grazing the cows, Yashoda Mata is very eager to meet Krishna. So, in order to enhance that rasa, Balramji, who is expanded as the holy dham, he will contract the geographical limits of the dham so that Krishna can very soon return back to Mother Yashoda and she can, meet her beloved son. Similarly, when demons, they attack Krishna, Balramji expands the geographical distance so that it takes more time for the demons to come and reach Krishna. So, this is Shantarasa. Then, he is serving as Dasya Rasa also. So, as Lakshman we discussed, then in Krishna Leela, he's massaging Krishna's lotus feet, he's fanning Krishna. Obviously, it's a very transcendental sight or a pastime that sometimes even Krishna will do that because Balramji has come as his elder brother. So, that is there. Then, Dasya Rasa again, Lakshman. I just mentioned that, how he didn't sleep for 14 years and he accompanied Lord Ramachandra in the forest, despite, there being no obligation for him to do that. So, all this he is doing. Then, Vatsalya Rasa. So, how he is serving Krishna in Vatsalya Rasa? just as a mother is so so concerned, so worried about her child, Balramji takes care of Krishna under Vatsalya Rasa. So for example, when Krishna was small and he ate mud, then Balramji saw that and he was so overwhelmed out of affection for Lord Krishna that he goes to Yashoda Maya and he complains that, look, your child has eaten mud and please see, it might not be good for him. Then we know, like the whole pastime, how Krishna first he denies. Acharyas explain that Krishna was trying to tell Mother Yashoda that, see, we have 9 mothers. Bhumi Devi is also a mother. So just as how I'm drinking your milk, similarly I'm eating that dust or the mud from Bhumi Devi. So it is same. There's no difference between the two. But again, I mean, he didn't say it, but Acharya say that this is what Krishna is saying, that what is the big deal I did. But externally he says that no, I didn't eat mud. If you want, you see in my mouth. And then he shows the whole universal form, and Yashoda Mata, she gets a bit enchanted, bewildered, and then because of Yoga Maya, she forgets, and she just takes her baby Krishna and then she comes back. Then, when Krishna is going to the forest, again, like Lakshmana, Lord Balram is also taking various care that Krishna, he gets a good place where he can sit, when he can relax under a tree. There is cool breeze, there are nice fruits, so that Krishna can honor them without feeling hungry. Similarly, Nityananda Prabhu, like we know the pastime how when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he immediately wanted to go to Vrindavan, but Nityananda Prabhu tricked him and he sent him through a way that he comes to Shantipur. Now, why? So that Mother Sachi can come and meet her child one last time. So Nityananda Prabhu, he's serving Lord Krishna, or Balram is serving Lord Krishna in Vatsalya Rasa also. Then Sakhya Rasa. So, as Sakhya Rasa, he is going to joke with Krishna. How is he joking with Krishna? He sometimes, Balramji, he says, I'm white, Yashoda Maya, Nanda Maharaj are white. How are you so black? That means you're not their son, you were adopted. So like this, there's this playful teasing that goes on. And he also serves in the Madhurya Rasa. So Balramji, he expands as Ananga Manjari, who is a younger sister of Srimati Radharani, and he serves in that mood. And then that same Balram Oilo Nitai, he comes as Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Now, we know that, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, in the very initial chapters, the Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, like there's one full chapter that is dedicated to glorify Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So if you look at Adi Leela chapter 5, this whole chapter, like I think there are almost 235 verses. All verses are for glorification of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So in this entire Balram Tattva is explained. I will like to read few verses, like it will not be possible to read all 235 verses, but I would like to read a few verses. So if you look at it, so in text 3, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying that ei satta shloke kohilo Krishna Chaitanya Mahima, pancha shloke kohi Nityananda Tattva Sima. So translation, I have described the glory of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the 6 verses. Now in 5 verses, I shall describe the glory of Lord Nityananda. Right? Then the next verse. So now he starts describing the glories. Sarva avatari Krishna Swayam Bhagavan Tahara Dvitiya Deha Shri Balaram. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Shri Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnations. Lord Balram is his second body. Next verse. एको ईश्वरूप दोह भिन्न मात्र काय आद्य काय व्यूह कृष्ण लीला रसहाय. So how are they, like how are they Those two are one and the same identity. They differ only in form. Lord Balram is the first bodily expansion of Krishna, and he assists in Lord Krishna's transcendental pastimes. So, from Balram, we have the Chaturvyuha, Sankarshan, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, they come. So, it is only from Balram. Then, text 6. Sei Krishna Navadvipe Shri Chaitanya Chandra Sei Balarama Sange Shri Nityananda. So, that original Lord Krishna appeared in Navadvip as Lord Chaitanya, and Balram appeared with him as Lord Nityananda. संकर्षण कारण टोयशायी गर्भोदशायी च पयोप्तिशायी शेषश्च यस्यां शकलास नित्या नन्दाख्य राम शरणं ममास्तु. So what Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, so now he is explaining the expansions of Nityananda, like what all expansions come from Lord Nityananda. So may Sri Nityananda Ram be the object of my constant remembrance. Sankarshana, Sheshanag and the Vishnus who lie on the Karana ocean, Garbha ocean and the ocean of milk are his plenary portions and the portions of his plenary portions. Then Shri Balaram Goshai Mula Sankarshan Pancharupa Dhari Korena Krishnera Sevan. So Lord Krishna is the original Sankarshan, and then he assumes 5 other forms to serve Lord Krishna. Sorry, 1 second. আপন করেন কৃষ্ণ লীলার সহায় সৃষ্টি লীলা করে করি ধরি চারিকায়. So he himself is helping in the pastimes of Lord Krishna, and he does the work of creation in 4 other forms. And then, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he explains, like he continues to explain, how he's expanding as Garbhodaksha Vishnu and, what each Vishnu is doing. And then the Chaturvyuha, Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. And then in that very chapter, later, he will explain, how Balram or Sankarshan or Sri Nityananda Prabhu, he is expanding himself as all the paraphernalia, and he's serving Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in different ways. So Balram, he will expand, he will serve Lord Krishna as everything: umbrellas, slippers, bedding, pillow, garments, resting chair, residence, ornaments, sacred throne, everything. You name it, and he's there to serve. So this is just a brief, if we talk about Balram Tattva, I think even if we talk till tomorrow's class, it will not be sufficient. But in the interest of time, I just wanted to summarize. So now coming to Shri Nityananda Prabhu. We all know that how Nityananda Prabhu roughly appeared 12 years before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's descent. But he was hidden. He appeared in the village of Ekachakra Dham. And he appeared as the son of Hadai Pandit and Shri Padmavati Devi. And his childhood pastimes were so glorious. We have all heard that, how he used to enact these various pastimes from Ramayana, Krishna Leela. And he used to enact it with such precision, such minute details, that these villagers in Ekachakra Dham, they were astonished, and they used to sometimes ask Nityananda Prabhu that how do you know? How do you know all these minute details? Even we don't know, despite studying the Shastras, despite reading Ramayana, we don't know these details. So Nityananda Prabhu used to laugh and say that these are all my pastimes. But, and then, Krishna's Yogamaya potency is so powerful that villagers, they used to not believe him, and they used to just okay, just a small boy is saying. There's a description that how the villagers in Ekachakra Dham, they loved Nityananda Prabhu much more than their own children. So, that was the enchanting beauty of Shri Nityananda Ram. even today, when we go to Ekachakra Dham for darshan, we can see these pastime places of Nityananda Prabhu. So, like that, he was there. And then one day, when Brahmana, like when sannyasi comes to Ekachakra Dham, and he's very pleased with the service offered by Hadai Pandit. And then at the end, Hadai Pandit asks him that, would you like to have some gift? So the sannyasi says that, look, I need to go around the Bharatvarsha for Tirth Yatra and I need some assistant. Your son looks very active. Can you please send him with me? So, now Hadai Pandit, how Dashrath Maharaj in Ramayana he's saying, in fact, I also heard today that Dashrath Maharaj only has come as Hadai Pandit in Chaitanya Leela. So Hadai Pandit, he says that, if you would have asked my life, I would have happily given you. But you have asked Nitai. Separating from him is just unbearable. But then he was a Brahmana and he had promised that he will give the sannyasi whatever he asked for. So Harai Pandit and Shri Padmavati Devi, they have a discussion, they contemplate, and then finally they agree to give Nityananda Prabhu. But they were devastated. It was so difficult for them to part. Not only Harai Pandit and Padmavati Devi, but the whole Ekachakra Dham, like all the inhabitants, they were all crying and crying and crying, shedding tears when Nityananda Prabhu was being taken away. It is in fact said that Hadai Pandit goes to the outskirts of the village and he is waiting and he's seeing like till the last point of sight, till that sannyasi and Nityananda Prabhu are visible. That much, he's seeing like when he's bidding farewell. And the moment Nityananda Prabhu goes out of out of that sight or vision, Hadai Pandit gives up his body out of that separation. Intense separation. He cannot bear that separation. So this was the love that Hadai Pandit and Padmavati Devi had for Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Then we know how Nityananda Prabhu, he toured the whole world, toured the whole Bharatvarsha and on this pilgrimage with that Brahmana. And then when he came to know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has, he's just starting his Sankirtan pastimes, then Nityananda Prabhu comes to this Navadvip Dham and, he hides in the house of Sri Nandanacharya. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sends his associates that go and, when Avaduta has come, please bring him. When they go, they don't find anyone. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, oh, he's hiding. Let me go. And then, he goes. And then the two divine brothers, they meet. And then, in the house of Srivas, they have such confidential, intimate pastimes. Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and also their, intimate associates like Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar Pandit, Srivas Thakur, Kulavecha Sridhar and others. So in this way, Nityananda Prabhu, he is there with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right from the time when Mahaprabhu began began manifesting the Sankirtan pastimes. Then when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got sannyas, he wanted to go to Puri and Nityananda Prabhu tricked him to come to Shantipur. And then and then there, obviously, his mother requests him that, you please go to Jagannath Puri because if you're there, then I'll at least hear some news about you. If you go to Vrindavan, it is too far. Those days, there were no flights, there were no trains. So it was not so easy to go from Mayapur to Vrindavan. So then, accepting the order of his mother, Mahaprabhu goes to Jagannath Puri. And then there, after some time, he orders Nityananda Prabhu that you go. You should go and preach in Bengal. Flood the whole place with the holy names of the Lord. So then he comes to Bengal and, we know how he marries Vasudha and Janva and then, he begins his preaching. Then he takes Sri Goswami for Paikram and, like that. There are such wonderful pastimes that have happened. And Nityananda Prabhu was an avaduta, when he and Haridas Thakur would go to preach. Haridas Thakur once came and he complained to Advaita Acharya. He said that you've sent me with a madman, Baba. He goes and what he'll do? he will pinch small children, small babies, and when they start crying, he will run away. And then those mothers, they will come and they will see me and they'll start scolding me. And when I say, no, I didn't do, that person did, he has already, vanished. So the mothers won't believe. Like this, he used to go, he used to pull Brahmanas' dhotis, he used to trouble young girls, like obviously transcendentally, and then trouble these babies. And then Jagai Madhai, he tried to go and preach to Jagai Madhai so that they can get the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Hairasaku was like, oh my God, what's happening? So, that's another very wonderful part. And Nityananda Prabhu has given his mercy to everyone. Like there was once this group of dacoits. They saw Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu was, bedecked with the most exquisite jewels and ornaments. Such precious diamonds, rubies, sapphires, etc. And the dacoits, like the leader, he said, like he told his group that if we are able to steal the jewels of this person, that we never have to steal again in our life. We will get enough riches for our entire life. So they plot how to go and how to, steal these jewels. So the first night when they go, the first night that they go, they fall asleep. And then morning, suddenly they wake up and they're like, oh, you didn't wake me up, you didn't wake me up. They start telling each other. And then it so turns out that everyone was expecting that the other would wake him up, but everybody had fallen asleep by this whole Maya Shakti. So then they said, okay, no problem, better luck next time. So then see, this day when they fell asleep, the leader of the dacoit said, look, we didn't worship Mother Chandi and we just went and therefore we were unsuccessful. So now let us, worship Mother Chandi and go. So next day, they nicely worship Mother Chandi and then they go. When they approached the house where Nityananda Prabhu was staying, huge, they see two big personalities, tall, huge, really powerful, who are guarding that area with powerful weapons. So they all got scared and they ran away. Then again, they still didn't lose hope. Again, they come back the third day, and that day, because of the Maya Shakti of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, these dacoits, they experience this whole, it is again Maya, it's an illusion, but they feel it's real. They all have fallen into a deep well and they are being bitten by scorpions and poisonous snakes and this, and they are mourning in pain. And then the leader of the dacoit realizes that this person from whom we are trying to steal is not some ordinary person. So he gets that transcendental realization. And then the moment he realizes and he decides that no, we have done a great offense, we should go and beg forgiveness, we should not try to steal. Think about stealing. Immediately that illusion is broken and they're out of those deep wells of scorpions and snakes. And then he immediately goes and he falls at the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Prabhu and he begs for forgiveness. And then Nityananda Prabhu, his very merciful nature, he even gives Krishna Prem, or he gives the holy name of the Lord to these dacoits also. So in this way, Nityananda Prabhu was so merciful. He was, he wanted to give this Krishna Prem so easily. And, he wanted us to distribute. He created Namahatta and, he's very freely distributing this holy name of the Lord. There's a lot more to say, about the glories of Nityananda Prabhu, but I think we are already running out of time, so I'll take a pause here and I'll come to Sri Varahadev's pastime. I'll try to keep it brief. This is again a very wonderful pastime. Recently I was hearing in one class, the speaker was saying that how Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur mentions that Lord Krishna, he's so merciful to the jivas who have come in this material world with an enjoying propensity. So every very frequently, he himself appears. Now, why does he appear? See, there are two reasons, right? One is to punish the miscreants, and one is to give pleasure to the devotees. Now, it is true that for punishing the miscreants, the Lord himself doesn't need to appear. He has a lot of agents, like in that Bhagavad Gita 4.7, 4.8, purpose, Srila Prabhupada write that he has a lot of he has sufficient agents who are quite capable to completely vanquish these demons. Like, with common sense we can understand, like if he wants to kill someone, why he has to come personally? Like, if you look at some atheist in this material world, if he has to die, what has to be done? Like one heart attack and that person is just finished. So it's not like Krishna has to personally come to kill the demons. He can just, with modes of material nature, he can kill them. But he comes to please the devotees. He does wonderful pastimes. And why he does wonderful pastimes? So that by listening to these wonderful pastimes, we, conditioned souls who are so attached to material sense enjoyment, we will develop some rati, some attraction towards the Supreme Lord. And we can start our journey to go back home, back to Godhead. So that is one of the reasons why Lord Krishna is appearing. And so then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that Lord Krishna, he is so merciful, he doesn't just appear in the human species. We know there are 84 lakh species, right? So 4 lakh species are of human beings, but remaining 80 lakh species or 8 million species, they are of other living entities. So Lord Krishna, he appears in each of those species so that he can give his association to the living beings who are in that particular species. Like he appears at Matsya Avatar. Why? So that people in the fish, like in that species of fish, they can also discuss the transcendental glories and pastimes of Sri Krishna. Then Kurma avatars, tortoise. Varahadev looks like a boar. Now, see, boar is not a very, hog or a boar. They are not very clean or not very celebrated animals. See, among animals, mainly it is cow, mother cow who is worshipped. Other animals are not. See, we treat them as jivas, so we don't disrespect or we don't kind of go and torture them. But at the same time, they are not considered very clean or, very pure or holy. So, hog is the most unclean, the dirtiest animal, like in that way. But you see, when Krishna appears in the form of a boar, we are glorifying him. We are celebrating this great festival today, Varah Dwadashi, appearance of Varahadev. Why? Because Lord Krishna has appeared in that form. And he's transcendental, so it doesn't matter which form he takes. So in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukdev Goswami, in this whole description between Maitreya and Vidur, Maitreya Muni explains the appearance of Lord Varahadev. And then Parikshit Maharaj is very curious. So what Maitreya Muni does, very briefly he will explain that, how once this Mother Earth, she had plunged, like she was put in that deep ocean. She was right in the depths of the ocean. So what should be done? So then Brahma was just thinking, he was just contemplating that what can be done to save Mother Earth. And immediately he had a sneeze. Hakshi. And with that sneeze, from his nostrils, a small form of a boar came out. He was just the size of the upper portion of a thumb, just that small. But as the boar came, it started growing big, 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 and it became huge. Gigantic. And then Brahma and the Brahmanas, they were trying to wonder, who is this person? And then Brahma understood that this cannot be any ordinary person. He is no one but an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu. So then the Brahmanas and Brahma ji, they start glorifying, they started offering wonderful prayers to Varahadev. Varahadev accepts the prayers and then he immediately goes to the Garbhodak ocean. And he immediately tears to the ocean. And the description is there in Bhagavatam that the way he plunges into the ocean, it feels like, the ocean is going to separate in two parts. And Varun Dev, the deity of oceans, he's pleading the Lord, please, please, please have some mercy on me. Please don't divide me or break me into two parts. So in that way, he picks up Mother Earth. Now, in the subsequent chapter, because here there's a very brief description, like some 10-15 verses. But then Parikshit Maharaj inquires, like he wants to know more. So then the description of, how Jai Vijay were punished, and then, they come as the sons of Diti, how Diti wanted to have union with her husband in the evening, which is not appropriate time. So, she gets pregnant, and she becomes the mother of these two great demons. And then, how Hiranyaksh is troubling the whole universe. And then, so, that whole description comes. And in that description, there's this thing that when Varahadev goes right into the ocean, he, he's challenged, when he picks up Mother Earth from the ocean on his tusk, and he is bringing her out. Hiranyaksh, he says very very hurtful words to Varahadev. So like he tells very, very hurtful words. So Varahadev is if you see the 18th chapter in the 3rd canto, text 6, it is said, although Varahadev was pained by the shaft-like abusive words of the demon, he bore the pain, right? But seeing that the earth on the ends of his tusks was frightened, he rose out of the water. And what he did, he gave his own energy to earth, and he placed her floating in the, in her orbit. So in that purport, it is mentioned that, see, sometimes atheists, they say that Lord is impersonal. But this verse proves that the Lord is not impersonal. Why? Because it says, although the Lord was pained by the shaft-like abusive words of the demon. So he has feelings, he has bhavna. He also feels like us. If someone says hurtful words to us, we feel pain. Similarly, the Lord also feels pain. But what is the lesson that we learn? That despite whatever whatever way he was hurt, he did not forego of his duty or responsibility at that time, which was to protect and secure Mother Earth. He first does that, and then he obviously turns back to to reply to these words of Hiranyaksh, because see, Hiranyaksh had challenged the Lord, so he has to give a befitting reply. So similarly, for us, like sadhakas or conditioned souls also for that matter, when we are trying to do bhakti, we will also get a lot of insults. Lot of people, relatives, they will come mock us. Sometimes they will make fun of us trying to practice bhakti, because we are also not perfect. Like we may speak big philosophy of humility, tolerance, not being so angry, but we also have the anarthas. So sometimes in situation we also get provoked, and we have our own anarthas. So sometimes people misunderstand that, and they will mock us and all. So what we need to remember, that we should never get perturbed by these hurtful words or insults of others. We should always keep our mind focused on our duty. And what is the prime duty of every living entity? Is to revive that dormant love for Krishna that is there in our hearts. So no matter what the external circumstances are, no matter what people are insulting us, we should always try to do bhakti. So that is one lesson that we learn from Varadev's pastime. I think it's almost 1 hour, so I'll just quickly summarize that. Then Varadev, after he had secured Mother Earth on the orbit, he comes back and he has a very ferocious fight with Hiranyaksh. Then, at one point in time, Brahmaji, he starts praying to the Lord that, my Lord, you are very powerful, right? And this demon, he was constantly harassing all the brahmanas, demons, cows, innocent persons. So Brahmaji requested the Lord, my dear Lord, there's no need to play with this serpentine demon who is always very skilled in conjuring tricks and is arrogant, self-sufficient, and most wicked. Then he says, my dear Lord, you're infallible. Please kill the sinful demon before the demoniac hour arrives. And he presents another formidable approach favorable to him. You can kill him by your internal potency without doubt. So, Lord, like Brahmaji, he requests Varadev that you please, now, you had your fight. Because like we know, like, Vishnu, Lord Krishna, he wanted to fight, and in Vaikuntha there's no one who can fight with him. So therefore, he orchestrated this whole pastime where, Jay and Vijay, they get cursed by the four Kumaras. They come as Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, as enemies or demons, and then they have a huge ferocious fight with the Lord. So that desire of the Lord to engage in fight, that was fulfilled sufficiently. And then the demoniac hour, or the evening, darkest evening, was approaching. So before that, Brahmaji, he requested the Lord that please, now no need to, again extend this. This demon is very wicked. He has troubled all Brahmanas. So you please kill him before the demoniac hour arrives. And now, like right now, it is the auspicious period known as Abhijit, which is perfect for victory. So now you please kill him and establish the peace. So then the description is there that how Varahadev, because he wanted to fight, they had a very ferocious fight with Hiranyaksh. But then when Brahmaji prayed and this demon had to be killed, Varahadev didn't have to do anything. Hiranyaksh comes to punch the Lord, and Varahadev just very casually, just like, how sometimes we blow off flies or mosquitoes, like that, he just tuck, and that's it. Hiranyaksh dies on the spot. So that is the glory of Sri Varahadev. Again, a very beautiful pastime described in multiple chapters in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. But we have limited time, so I had to summarize it in a very short span. Similarly, Nityananda Prabhu's pastimes, I think if we start speaking, like I remember once His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was giving a class, and in these olden days, he used to give classes for like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, sometimes 5 hours, 6 hours, and he used to go on, and it was so nectarian to hear his pastimes. But I would like to just stop here. Once again, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to meditate and again, remember these wonderful pastimes of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. And if I've done any offenses or mistakes, then I would like to seek forgiveness from all the Vaishnavas. And Hare Krishna. If there are any questions, thoughts, comments, then please let me know. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, we are saturated with Krishna Katha, so you didn't cover Bhagavatam, and that's fine because the mood is that of hearing about Lord Nityananda, and I know that sometimes when there is any difficulty in our material spiritual life, a lot of devotees guide us by saying that pray to Lord Nityananda, take his mercy,
Mm-hmm.
and today is that auspicious day. I mean, they won't say it for Balram Jayanti or for Lord Lakshman,
Mm-hmm.
but they say it for him because I think he's the one who is also giving guidance to Lord Chaitanya that
Mm-hmm.
do not pick up your this thing. I mean,
Weapons.
give the holy name to everyone. And I think that
Right.
was the first initiation that happened, is it? I'm not sure. I'm just, Jagai Madai was the first initiation, is it?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, that's what it is. And how Lord Chaitanya, his whole body became black. So this incident I always remember, I mean, of course, it's good to remember today, but throughout the year also, how Lord Nityananda is, as the first energy, is again reminding, the Lord, Lord Chaitanya. Of course, he knows everything, Lord Chaitanya, but he's always wants his devotees to be glorified. He wants to take directions from them. So wonderful class, Mataji. Just some realizations came like that while you were talking. Otherwise, my mind was absolutely blank in the beginning. So I'll request if anybody has any questions, comments, they can go ahead with Mataji. Anybody for any comment, question, or they want to share in realization? Premanandani Mataji normally shares realization if Mataji is free.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for such a nectarian class, Mataji, and going to different Chaitanya Charitamrut, touching Chaitanya Charitamrut, touching Bhagavad Gita, and bringing all those verses in connection to today's special day. I don't have any specific questions. I was thinking about one point that I had grabbed in the beginning. If it comes back, I'll jump in again, Mataji. But thank you so much, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam. Thank you so much for
Hare
this
Krishna.
nectarian class. Such a wonderful explanation of Lord Varahadev, Dwadashi and Nityananda Trayodashi. You created a mood of Nityananda festival today. So thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. I don't have any
Thank you, ma'am.
question, but yeah, such a wonderful class, Mataji.
Thank you.
Mataji, I used to really wonder. Actually, my mom is also on the other phone. Maybe it's echoing little voice of mine because she's in the other room also hearing on her
Oh.
phone, and I'm hearing on. Each one of us has these days our own phones, So everybody's utilizing. It's so amazing when I heard about like Varadev, how Lord is coming in the form of a particular animal, and that particular animal is doing the job of lifting with the tusks. So I was thinking there's no other animal. If I place an elephant there or something else, they will not be able to do this job as what Varadev did. How intelligent God is that He came like that. He's thinking, and for Him, I mean, I feel even like what is the material name for? What is it called? This thing as Varadev,
The boar?
the
No,
boar.
that boar, yeah. Boar
Yeah,
or the hog.
boar or the
Yeah.
hog. Like, I when I see a boar and a hog, I have so much respect for that animal now. Earlier I used to say, oh, it's so dirty, it lives like that, because it's the Lord has come as that. So, Lord has value for everything. That's why they say, no, don't even kill an ant or like a fly, because they have a purpose there. So similarly, Lord had a purpose to come as in the form of a boar incarnation. So I mean, जैसे वो हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, कोई तो reason होगा that even the machars are made, you know because I'm just like saying on my own, thinking that obviously it's not good to be a living entity like an animal, but maybe they did some karma, so that punishment, in the form of punishment, they have come. Because Lord wanted to give, say, a human being or somebody a punishment, and it became this horrible blood sucking, not makhi, uh, the one that bite you, mosquito. Mosquito. So even we have to even catch a mosquito and put it out and not kill it, because we'll be interfering in Lord's plan. And even if we smash it, we'll get the karma, because that person or that living entity has become that because of their own karma, and we're disturbing the cycle, right? So all these things are coming to mind when I'm hearing like Lord came in this incarnation. So amazing. And Mataji, also, like, can you elaborate a little bit on different other, like, I know there's a fish incarnation among the animal, I just recapping my memory. There was fish
Right.
incarnation, right?
Yes.
Which other incarnation did Lord come other
So
than
there was Kurma avatar, which is the tortoise. Then Haigriva, that is also that I don't know what is that animal called, but that's also again an animal only. Then Varadev, obviously. Narasimhadev, he's half man, half lion. So we can again, take him with that lion species. And in fact, like what I quoted, that how Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that the Lord appears in every, in all these different species so that he can give his association. So it is like, actually, there are numerous, like there are innumerable incarnations of the Lord. We don't even know about all the incarnations. It is, we know of the prominent ones which are mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, but there are so many incarnations of the Lord. And like how they say that Lord Balram, like in the form of Ananta Shesh, with his thousands of foods, he has been glorifying the Lord for thousands and thousands of years, and yet he never gets exhausted. So in this way, there are so many incarnations of the Lord which we don't even know. Like I was reading once that Ramayan, like on the Earth planet, it has, I'm not sure, I think it has 11,000 verses. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But basically, there are like a certain number of verses, 11,000 or 1,11,000. But that same Ramayan, when you go to Swargalok, like Indralok, it is 10 times big. So the number of verses are 10 times. Then if you go from there to Brahmalok, it is even more, like it is 100 times of what it is there on planet Earth. I don't remember the exact number right now, but the point is that, what we need to understand is that uh, because we have a very limited lifespan, we have been given the essence, but the glories of the Lord, the pastimes of the Lord, they are not just restricted to this essence that has been given. There is much, much more to it. So, like that, the Lord has expanded or has incarnated in many wonderful incarnations which we don't even know about.
Yes, Mataji, that's true. Just like another thought is coming to me because we talked about the boar. Like, you see an eagle, right, in the sky. The vision the eagle has, or the smell of a dog, the smell the dog has, from distance, it knows his master is coming.
Yes.
So I think Lord has basically come in that form, like you said about tortoise, right? Because it has a very high top. So the Mandara mountain was able to sustain.
Right.
Of course, like ordinary living tortoise will not be able to do it. God so intelligently, just like he came as Haranyakashipu, so intelligently came as that incarnation, and the whole churning is going on. And of course, his back is different from the back of an ordinary a tortoise or
Right.
so very very nice.
Actually, even like when I was reading about Varadev today, like before the class, I also read this that see Varadev also how he found where the Earth planet was there in that Garbhuda question, because these hogs, they have a very strong sense of smell. So the Lord actually smelled where can Mother Earth be there. Now see, this is all transcendental pastime. Like Lord doesn't need to smell with his nose; he can just know where Mother Earth is. But the point being said is that he has taken that particular incarnation, which as you also mentioned that because he lifted earth on tusk, so that can only be done in that specific animal body, like in that way. So the Lord also, like even that smelling thing is like he smelled where the planet Earth was there in the Garbhoda portion.
Very nice, very nice. I mean, we are so proud that through these pastimes, we realize how intelligent Lord Krishna is, and he's coming in different incarnations like that. So, thank you, Mataji.
Right.
You really made our day, because we're sitting at home and we're thinking that yes, most of the temples are celebrating today and even on Sunday. And but till we don't hear, like Prabhupada said, Shravanam is so important. Till we don't hear, it's like we are. What is the use of our ears anyway? Then anyway, I'm going to ask again if anybody has any question, comment. We just had a small discussion with Mataji.
One more point that came to my mind, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Were talking,
Yes,
the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, I am equally disposed to all the jivas in the creation. So when Lord takes avatar, he exemplifies that like he comes as a boar, then he comes as a higher grief, tortoise. Like everyone is equally disposed, and then everyone has certain special qualities that can be used in service of Lord. doesn't matter even if someone is in a animal body. And we saw that in Bharat Maharaj's incarnation, like one after he gives up the body, when he is attached to a deer, he comes in a body of a deer. So it just came to my mind, Mataji, that even in animal form, and like Rupini Mataji said, that we have to be respectful about all the jivas. Yes, because you never know, Krishna Lord can be, in any form. So nice, nice discussions, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Any other thoughts or anything that anyone else wants to share?
I like the point which Mataji mentioned about Bharat Maharaj and the deer, because Bharat Maharaj is also like, I mean, he's not Krishna, but he's a devotee. And so
Yes.
how, that deer you never used to eat green grass. It always stayed away from the other deers. It used to be close to the ashram where these gurus and all these sadhus were there. So like how when a human being goes into deer form, and that human being is a devotee, then also the similar you know uh, like similar things, the pastimes are displayed. I don't know how to put in the words. Like, I mean, the deer was acting differently, just like here also. Like the boar incarnation, he became so big. Normally, a boar is not very big. It's on the earth, just uh, I remember in my neighbor there was no fencing, so some of the boars came at night in the winter time, and it made the whole garden really bad. Then they put the fencing, so that the ordinary boar can do only that much, but this boar is like so. I like the way Mataji mentioned that even when suppose we go into, we should do our bhakti seriously. Even if we become like an animal, then hopefully we should be like, not intermingling with other animals. There should be some differences there, because bhakti is done. So I like that point about Mataji mentioned, because we have to always keep Lord Krishna and Lord Krishna's dear devotees also in mind. And of course, Srila Prabhupada is our acharya, so there are unlimited tales about Srila Prabhupada we can discuss every day. So I think we can end the call. If anybody else has any questions, they came in the mind, or then we are ready to hear otherwise. Okay, Mataji, thank you so much once again. So we can all
Thank you so
offer
much.
prayers on this auspicious day. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa
Sindhu Dvaivasha
ram
Patitanam Pavanebhyo
yo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavyo
Namo
namo
Namaha.
namah. Ananta Vaishnavindiki
Vaishnavaki ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Nityananda Jai.
Premeshwari Padmavati Mataji ki
Jai.
All assembled devotees ki jai.
Nityananda Trayodashi Mahamahotsav ki jai.
Mahotsav ki Jai.
Thank you,
Thank you
Mataji.
so much, Mataji.
Dhanyavad, Mataji.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much.